Now we're going to install the male adapters onto the bulkhead for the standpipe. Use a little bit of thread seal. Just about 2-3 times. That's enough. Screw it in. Again, you could also use a wrench or vice grip. That's good. Now we're going to do the same exact thing for the side below. Now we're going to make the drain pipe at the bottom of the bulkhead. For this, we're going to use the 3/4 pipe and the 2 3/4 90-degree bends. The first thing I want to do is make the part that attaches exactly to the bottom of the bulkhead into the male adapter. Now this is just a short piece. You could cut this about, let's say, about 2 to 3 inches. I'll do it about 3 inches. No, not a specific measurement, it just has to be able to fit in the adapter and in the 90-degree bend. So just cut a little piece off. Now I'm going to glue this piece onto the 3/4 90-degree bend. Make sure that the surfaces are dry. You could put the glue on both sides or just one side. As long as you have enough glue on it, it will stick and hold properly. Right, and for just so this upside, on none of the 3/4 pipe that are going into the male adapters are glued. Don't glue any of them because you want to be able to remove it to clean or have, like if you have to do troubleshooting on your system at any time. So no need to glue that. You just glue it onto the bends itself. So this piece comes over here. Now notice I faced it outwards for the while, and I will show you why. Now this is the next part of the drain pipe. So I'm just going to stick this here and measure like just a little bit outwards from the cage itself. Again, for cleaning purpose, if I have to drain the top bed and I don't want the water falling inside the fish tank, that's why I could always pull it out and turn it on and face it to the outside. So I'll just make sure that it's on the outside of the cage, and I'll cut it right there. I normally like to glue on the inside only, because especially for this small type of pipe, because when you glue the outside, it tends to leave glue hanging off. Like when you stick this part in here, you will see glue all on the outside of this pipe, and sometimes your hands might get on it and so on. So when I only put the glue on the inside, it gives you like a nice clean finish, like that. A trick that I use to get this glued straight is I would, before I glue it, come on a flat surface, put it in, and then press the whole thing against the ground, so that I will have both. If you look at it, it seems pretty straight. Right?
Yeah.
So I'll just put it on a flat surface and press it against the ground. Now I could leave this just like this, and this is good as the drain pipe, but I like to just finish it off a little bit with one more piece of the 3/4 pipe. So now the water from the gravel bed will fall straight into the fish tank. Now it's time to install the pressure line and the pump. Okay guys, now you can see that we have most of the pressure line already installed. So I have a ball valve. This is to control the pressure that is falling into the gravel bed. I also have a return line because the pump that we're installing in the system is actually 1400 liters per hour, and that is more than the amount of liquid held in this. So we have a return line because we don't want to cause any strain on the pump. So all the excess pressure will just flow back into the fish tank, what is coming up through the pump. All we need in the gravel bed is going through this line. Now we're going to hook up the pump. So this is the pump that I use for a system like this. One of the reasons why I use this is because I like the size for this system. It's not a big pump, it's a small aquarium pump, but also it fits really similar to the this 1/2-inch pipe. All you need to do is just heat the end of this, maybe on a stove or with a lighter. Heat it and it gets the plastic soft, and force it onto the fitting like this, and it will look something like this. So we've already done that. Also, this pump comes with these filters, these mechanical filters. You don't need all this filter because if you keep these filters inside the tank, you'll be changing these or cleaning them out every single day, and that is excess work that you don't want. All you need to do is just take out the filter and leave on the guard like this. Now what this does is protect the fish from getting into the impellers of the pump. So now I'm going to install the pump. Now I always face the side of the pump that I know is going to take up the water, the intake of the pump. I face it away from the wall. I face it into the tank because that's where all the fish will be and all the fish waste will come from. So I always face it away, outwards. How am I going to get the height? So I rest the pump flat. I rest the pump at the base of the container, and let's measure the length of the bottom of this screw collar. This screw collar here. Measure it up a bit because I have to cater for the amount of pipe that is going to go in the collar itself. Right? Keep my hand there, and then I'm going to cut right there. Quickly installing it to the union. The reason for the union is just in case I have to take out the pump, I could always detach it from here. If I have to clean the pump or do anything like that, it's easy as that. And then I just reinstall it like that. Okay guys, so this is what we're going to use as the standpipe or the drain pipe coming into the top of the bulkhead here. Now look at this simple trick. We're using this steel to measure the top. Now this is where the gravel is going to be. Well, a little below this. You want to measure like 3 inches below this steel for the top of your standpipe, because we're going to leave like 1/2 inch clear. Then below that 1/2 inch will be where the gravel height is, and 1 inch below, 1 to 2 inches below the gravel height, you're going to have your the water level. Always remember, in a gravel bed system, you never want the water level to be in line with or above the gravel, because then you will have algae growing on top the gravel. You don't want that, so at least 1 inch below the gravel is where you want your water line is. So let's say 3 inches down from this, and that'll be the length of the standpipe. So I could just cut, measure it, and if I made a mistake, just cut again. And no glue going into this part, because I want to be able to remove this for cleaning if roots get into this or anything like that. I want to be able to remove this pipe. So all I have to do when I finish cutting this is just stick it in, no glue. So what I'm going to do is put a mark on the standpipe, right? Turn it over. Remember, this is the top of the standpipe. So I'm going to rest the top of the standpipe onto the bulkhead. Put a mark exactly where the steel is. Then what I'll do is measure 3 inches away from this mark, closer to the top of the standpipe, and cut again, and that'll be the length of my standpipe. Right? 3 inches away. I'm gonna cut that now. Okay guys, so this is the length of the standpipe here now. Just insert it. Make sure that it's snug. Now we're going to make the bell for the siphon. If you want to find out more about bell siphon, you can check it out on YouTube. Just type in bell siphon for aquaponics. Later on, I'm going to do a video about bell siphon. Sean as well is going to do one explaining the bell siphon. But for now, you could just... the video will be too long trying to explain what the siphon is. All you have to know for now, it is what floods and drains the bed, right? So to make the bell siphon, I'm using the 2-inch end cap and a 2-inch pipe. Now, the bell siphon should be at least 1 inch taller than your drain pipe, because the water will flow and come up and then enter here and go down. So you want to give the bell enough room above the drain pipe so have the water, the volume of the water to pass, right? So all I will do is just measure like an inch or inch and a half above where the flood pipe is here, the drain pipe, and cut it off here. And when I cut it off, then put on the end cap, right? On the 2-inch pipe, like this size of pipe, you have to make sure and put enough glue, because on the 1/2 inch and 3/4, it's easy to, they stick very easily, but 2-inch pipe and 4-inch pipe and so on, because of the size, sometimes you tend to miss a spot. So make sure you have enough glue on this. Place it inside. Right. So now we're just going to put some slits on this to allow water to enter the pipe. If we put it just like this, now this will create like something like a cover for the bell. Now you want entrance where water will pass in. You want ways like gateways for the water to pass through. So all you have to do is just cut some grooves in this, just a few, so that the water could pass through. Okay guys, so that's it. That's enough room for the water to pass through. This is your bell for the siphon. Now we're going on to the gravel guard. So you don't want in the bed for the gravel to be against the bell on the siphon. Why? Because very often you will have to remove the siphon to do checks on your system, and the gravel will also slow down the amount of water that passes here, and it could also cause roots to end up clogging this area. So this is what you call the gravel guard. Now this goes above the bell siphon, just like this. You also want to put some holes on this. Maybe you could drill the holes. You could use a grinder and cut some slits. You don't need to do the whole thing, just about half the pipe, because the water will basically be entering it at the bottom. So you want to put some holes in this for the water to pass through. Alright guys, so this is the hole as you've seen Sean cutting it with the grinder. This is actually enough holes for water to pass through. So this now, the gravel guard just goes over the siphon as I said before. Next we're going to clean everything, because of the fact that we've been working and cutting plastic. Now we want to clean everything and flush it out, drain the system.